Hi guys, my name is Rose and welcome back to Balling on a Budget. So welcome back guys, I'm super happy to have you guys here. I hope everyone is doing well. Today is what will hopefully be the first in a new series for this channel called Money Principles 101. Essentially, this series will be looking at methods, tricks, tools that a lot of people have found effective in helping them get better money management. The first tool that we're going to be looking at today is something called the 5 pots theory. Essentially, this theory stipulates that you should split your income into 5 pots or accounts or buckets or, whatever you want to call them. These are your bills and expenses pot, your play account pot, your long-term saving, your short-term saving, and your education pot. Typically, the money split recommendation is as follows: 50 to 60% on bills, 5 to 10% on your play account, 20 to 10% on your long-term savings, around 10% on your short-term savings, and about 5% on your education. Though the exact split of your income into these different pots really does vary from person to person, and I think highly depends on where your money priorities are. Essentially, the general rule of thumb is that at any point in time, no more than 70% of your income should be going towards the, expenses, bills, and play side. And at all times, at least 30% of your income should be going towards the more saving pots. So the good thing about this theory is that whether your income goes up or down, it still applies because it's all based on percentages. And it's really great because it means that you're determining what works for you at a strategic level. So based on what your financial priorities are, you're setting those percentages. That way you make your bills fit the plan rather than your expenses dictating your saving plans and, what you spend. So taking a closer look at our bills pot, we first start to fill it up with things which are kind of essential for us to live. So rent, utilities, travel, food. Once those things have been taken care of, you can start to look, if you have any resource left in that pot. Well, if you do, you can start to fill it up with things which I like to call perceived needs. So for me, these are things like my gym membership, toiletries and skincare, getting my hair done. These are needs for me, but not actually things that I need to survive. So we can keep filling our pot up with these things until we reach our allocated percentage. Once we've reached this point, anything which doesn't fit into that, it's got to go. So for me, that meant taking out makeup budget from my life. So looking at our second pot, the play account. I think this one is pretty self-explanatory. It's the money that you give yourself each month to just play and have fun with. It has nothing to do with your needs, and it's all about just things that you want. So this is the money you would use to kind of go to dinner with friends, go out, get yourself any new clothes or makeup. It's just money for you to enjoy. So pot number 3 is the long-term saving pot. When I say long-term saving, I don't just mean, saving for a house or something that you want in 4 to 5 years. I'm talking long-term saving. So these are things for investments and, saving for retirement in, 30 to 40 years. And I know for a lot of young people, they're thinking, in my 20s, retirement is so far away. Realistically, to maintain the sort of lifestyles that a lot of us have right now into your 60s and 70s, you do need to start saving from now. So just to reiterate, the focus of this pot is mainly retirement and long-term investments. So pot number 4 is the short-term saving pot. This pot is primarily used for things that you're trying to buy in, the next 1 to 4 years, but also as a backup plan if you lose your job or you need to take some time away for any unexpected reason. So this pot for me is where I do all my house saving, I'm saving for a car, And as I said, it's kind of a rainy day fund. They typically say that you can, once you've achieved your saving goals for that particular item or whatever, you can kind of change up the percentage for this pot when you have about 6 months of what your usual income would be. They say after you have that in that pot, you can reduce the amount that you put in on a monthly basis. Obviously, this is going to be dependent on whether you've achieved some of your other shorter term saving goals as well. Pot number 5, the education pot. If you're still in school or university or looking to do further education like a master's or an MBA, this pot is very obviously for that. But even beyond that, this pot is just for spending on improving you as a person. So this can be spending, your allocation of spending for anything such as, you know, books, going to classes, learning a new language. This money is just set aside for the betterment of you. So those are the 5 pots in summary. As I mentioned before, the percentages can vary, obviously, depending on, you know, what your financial goals are. And, you know, for me, I live at home, I ain't got no kids, I'm not paying any rent, so I can afford to, you know, be a bit more generous on the saving side than someone which probably has 2 kids and stuff. But I thought it'd be helpful if I kind of shared what my current breakdown is, so you should see below. I actually have 6 pots. I'm a Christian, so I believe in tithing. So my tithe is my 6th pot, and I split it out like that. As you can see, my shorter term saving pot is actually a lot heavier than the basic recommendations. I've split my short-term saving into, you know, my typical short-term saving, but also a house saving pot, because that's a priority for me. And once that goal is achieved, you know, I'll kind of come back and reevaluate my percentages. So guys, that's it. That's the 5 pots theory in a very summarized, condensed view. If you want to know more about this, leave a comment and I'll definitely share some more information and help. If you guys found this useful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.